Yo, hello everyone. Um, Thank you for joining. And if you can't join, we're gonna record the meeting just so that everyone is aware and up to date. So today we're basically just discussing AI for real estate and exactly what that means and how real estate wholesalers specifically or just real estate agents can make use of AI and automation in order to drive more sales than just make their business more efficient in general. So, with that being said, let me share my screen and we can start our discussion. All right. Hopefully, you can all see the screen. Um, AI for real estate. So, I'll be going through multiple parts here, but we'll basically start with like the wholesale position for companies in the United States primarily. And the reason why is because the wholesale market is very different in the United States compared to other markets. And so if you look at the way the game currently goes, let's say you have a potential sellers list of around, I don't know, 2,000 leads. There are multiple ways that you can actually contact these leads. And let's just talk about where the leads come from, first of all. So you can actually use services like Batch Leads and ProStream, uh, PropStream, in order to get these, acquire these leads. Now, the thing about these, excuse me, thing about these leads is that they usually come in a package. Now, what does that package entail? Well, you can have things like names, you can have phone numbers, and email addresses. Now, this is all well and good, right? You know, you have the contact information, you have the location. Let's add location as well. You have the location, but how do you actually contact these individuals? Like, how does somebody who's just getting into real estate, or even who has been in real estate for a long time, actually contact these individuals, right? Let us group this. There we go. All right. So, how do you contact these individuals, right? You have a nice list. You think you have a good set of people to actually work with, and you're ready to start pressing the dial button in order to reach these people. Um, well, options, right, from this set essentially would be two, I think there are two options, right, that most people are aware of. So option number one is to manually call yourself, right? You manually call yourself. Option number two, hire a VA team, right? So this might be a team of virtual assistants, maybe from outside of the country that are that could be trained on, you know, making these outbound calls and trying to find out if these customers or these sellers, homeowners are willing to sell their homes for cash. Now, these used to be the only options. You could have this in-house or you could have this out-house human team, right? You might also be able to do things like I don't know, simple SMS drip campaigns, you know, but you're not likely to always reach these people, right? Now, recently, with the current updates in technology and AI, we are able to deploy a new strategy that we call AI voice, right? Now, why is this strategy so powerful? AI voice is powerful because one, in fact, I'll show you. Better than I can tell you is me actually just showing you the discoveries that we made. So I'm going to go to azukalabs.com/real estate, and I'm going to scroll down to why we should choose AI over VAs. Now, if you look at this setup that we have here, we have the ability to speak in native English. Now, this is very important when you're communicating with people who have owned homes for 25 plus years. They might not have the best hearing abilities at that point. You know, they could be 60, 70 years old. So you want to make sure that like what you're saying to them is actually clear, right? Hiring overseas VAs, there can sometimes be a difference in dialect and language. So that's important. 24/7 availability. So we can set up these systems so that they're just running on autopilot, right? Scheduling and making these calls. There's cultural nuance as well. Certain things like got it, gotcha, I get it. You know, those are things that you have to train somebody who's not a native speaker in order to understand, rather than an AI agent, which is trained on millions and millions of data points in order to actually develop an American accent or a European accent or a French accent. You know what I mean? They're quite good at the imitation of accents. So consistent performance as well. One beautiful thing about AI agents is that they do not get tired, right? They can perform the same action thousands of times. So this makes the quality of the calls much better than using like a human VA. Instant scalability as well. So you can go from doing 10 to 1,000 calls, and the quality of the call will not change at all. It will remain consistent at a high level, right? Because human beings will get tired after maybe 50, 60, 70 calls, right? But the AI agent will not get tired, right? And you have complete control and flexibility. You can change things like the tonality. You can change things like the enunciations. You can even get to change things like pauses, like ums, ahas, natural pauses you can actually add into your agent in order for it to sound like you. And there is a bonus as well where you can clone your own voice such that the agent is calling as if it was you, the individual, right? We have a client who cloned their voice, and we are literally serving these outbound calls with the client's voice so that when the client does pick up the phone, the seller on the other side is already kind of familiar with this client. And that is something that you cannot replicate with a human VA. Moving on. So you can go from $500 to $50,000 with this method. Now, the reason why is because if you have a campaign that you spend on doing voice calls, then you can essentially get one or two properties on the contract pretty quickly, and then go on and sell that property over. So this is the reason why AI voice is so much more powerful. It's literally just a set and forget system that guides you through the entire process. So how does it work? Well, you basically set up your agent, upload your lead list, the agent starts making the calls, and then you also get feedback, right? So continuous feedback from that as well. And then you go ahead, call back, get the property under contract, and then close the deal. So AI agents versus traditional methods. If you think about traditional methods, manual calling, you might be doing 50 to 100 a day. The cost per call could be $2 to $5, right? Overseas might be cheaper, 1 to 3. Maybe you get a lot more if you're doing it with the overseas VA. But the problem is that, you know, the zone issues, consistency is not the same, right? You could get two, like, let's say, for example, you're working with an overseas VA, they might give you two agents, right? These two agents can be trained at two different levels. They don't have the same enunciation. They don't have the same training, right? And so your consistency is not the same. You cannot remain at a high level of consistency, right? And this is just going to be the standard in the future, but right now it is an opportunity. So this is why we're having this call. So scalability as well. So you can scale AI agents quite high. You can have multiple AI agents that are trained quite quickly. You don't have to manage a team on your own. You don't have to manage a team overseas. You don't even have to speak to anyone apart from the agency that might be managing your AI agents, and it's super easy for you to just tweak certain things and have um, significantly higher return on investment, right? So that's what we're looking at. So AI voice that I've explained is stellar in its ability for scale. Uh, yeah, so in its ability for scale, and it's also way more cost effective, and it's also way more consistent, right? A lot of people right now are taking over or looking at the fact that there's arbitrage in using overseas VAs. Of course, yes, there is arbitrage in using overseas VAs, but not for cold calling, at least not in this instant. The opportunity or the advantage is shifting towards AI and AI voice. Everyone understands how important it is, and everyone understands how relevant it's going to be. Right now, it's an opportunity, but it will no longer be like that in, let's say, um, I don't know, 12 to 15 months, I'd say. By that time, it will be the standard. So we can say, like, let's say time is here, right? And we have opportunity, and we have opportunity right here. So you look at this setup, we are essentially at this stage, right? Where the opportunity is really high because we're at the beginning of this stage. Like the technology that we're using right now just about came out, and Azuka Labs is like one of the first companies to actually focus heavily on AI voice for real estate. We're one of the only companies that actually has written agents that has tested these agents over thousands of calls already. So we have the standard. Now, what's going to happen in the next uh, few months to a year? The time and opportunity is going to start looking like this. And if you're in the wholesale game, you understand that this is a competitive market. It's all about speed to lead, right? And eventually the curve is going to flatten out, kind of like this. Oops. So the curve is going to kind of flatten out like this, right? So you see an opportunity curve is very high at the top when things are relatively new, right? And those that actually adopt this technology quickly will get ahead, similar to how those that adopted ChatGPT, those that adopted Make.com, NLN, and were able to do these automatic text messages and voice calls have been able to take advantage in their market and have been able to close more deals. So with that being said, please be aware that this opportunity will not last forever. Technology is constantly changing. And you, if you are viewing this right now, have an opportunity to actually take advantage of AI voice, especially if you are currently using virtual assistants and you've noticed these problems where you don't get quality data back, you don't get quality results, right? These are kind of very important things. And these are the sort of things that we deal with on a daily basis that help us get to or get our clients where they need to go. Um, there was a test that we did with like 423 calls, right? So we did about 423 cold calls, right, in the space of 2 hours. So this takes a VA company like at least 4 to 5 hours to do, right? It might take them 4 to 5 hours, right? And it takes us only 2 hours, right? So if you think about the scale of our operations compared to theirs, it's a no-brainer, right? So let's put AI, voice agency, and then VA agency. right? This is like the truth of the matter, right? Is that you can scale this much faster than you can scale this, right? And that's what we want people to understand is that from a technical perspective, even if you're not a technical person, like you can put two and two together and understand how important the industry is right now, the opportunity is right now, right? So with that being said, um, I would love to invite you guys to be able to communicate with us to find out more. So if you would love to do that, all you have to do is go to azukalabs.com and you can actually talk to our AI agent, Lisa. If you go right here, you can have a conversation with Lisa and she'll take down your information and then you can book a call with us that way. Or if you'd rather just go straight to the point, you can fill out our type form when you go to work with us. So right here, work with us here. And that should just get you straight into where you need to go, right? So yeah, so I'm excited to learn more about your business and where you're at right now and what you need. You can also contact us on WhatsApp as well. So we are available on WhatsApp as well. So yeah, reach out, let us know what you'd like. Let us know what if you have any questions. Like I said, I'm gonna recap again. AI voices are smarter. AI voices have better enunciations. They have better accents. They can reach more people. They are, they can have personalities that you can clone your own voice and have your own personal AI agent that does all these outbound calls for you, right? So when you do pick up the phone and speak to them again, it's not as if they're hearing an unfamiliar voice. You can actually clone your own voice, right, and use that for your cold calls. So look, this is not just about cold calling. I will probably do another session about inbound calling, but this one was really for the wholesalers that are looking to find motivated sellers through cold calling, which is, a really, really strong method. We also do things like SMS, but like I said, this lecture right now is about focusing on the opportunity with AI voice and outbound calls for wholesale real estate. All right. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you in the next webinar. Peace and love.